So today we are bringing you some custom tactics on the 4-3-2-1 taken from the world champion Manu Bachor. Manu, one of the best players on FC24, obviously won the world championship on FIFA 23. We will put his video down below in the description if you want to go and check that out. I'm going to talk to you about why Manu plays the 4-3-2-1 the way that he does. We're going to break down some of his gameplay as well and how you can use this 4-3-2-1 to your advantage. The 4-3-2-1 obviously is a very popular formation throughout the pros, and there's a specific reason for that, and we're going to highlight how you can utilize that when we take a look at the in-game examples. But to run through the tactics, so the 4-3-2-1 and the way that Manu has it set up is actually very basic, and this is something that a lot of the times when you take a look at pros, the reason why they do this and why they run a kind of very neutral setup is because they're so good themselves at triggering runs, using creative runs, using player locks, using attacking patterns, moving, manipulating the AI in the way that they want, and so many different just areas that they don't need to go too crazy. So Manu said that his defensive style is balanced and he runs balance pretty much across everything. He never really changes any of these unless he is chasing a game and needs to go to constant pressure. But balance is kind of the best of both worlds. And the reason for that is you're not going to be super aggressive. You're not going to see your players fly up and out of position. It just gives you a neutral setup. He goes for 50 defensive width and 55 depth. Now, with 55 depth, you do get that automatic AI press on next generation of the game. On old gen, you don't. But he doesn't run that 71 depth and above, where you then get that automatic offside trap. And again, going back to the previous points, the reason for this is that he's very happy having the depth just sat slightly higher and just moving and manipulating that defense. He's player switching so quick, so rapid. He's using second man press, the partial team press, right stick switching, reading the play, that he doesn't feel the need to have that automatic offside trap. What he will do himself in the defensive scenario is click down on the D-pad to get that offside trap to step up that defense on his own accord. They kind of read the game so quick and understand exactly kind of their intuition, where they need to be and why they need to be, that he can do that. My build-up play, he does go balanced and then direct passing. Again, when we look at a lot of pro tactics and that, this tends to be the go-to. Now, build-up play, the reason why he goes balanced, again, is to give you the best of everything, right? When you run slow build-up or fast build-up, it's almost like too extreme on one or the other. You know, slow build-up, everyone just takes their time getting forward. And then fast build-up, your players are constantly running away from you, sometimes making it difficult to just play a simple pass inside your own half because your players are running away. You know, they're not bothered about where the ball is, they run about going forward. And then long ball, obviously, is telling your players, okay, can we try and look to, you know, get in behind and play those over the top, which again, a pro will go over the top. They will play through balls, they will play long balls, but they'll do it on their own accord. They'll trigger that runner themselves or their player lock or whatever it may be. They don't need the AI to kind of do it for them. But direct passing, there is a specific reason why Manu runs this. Manu wants direct passing to basically push the opponent's defense back as deep as possible to give him room in between the midfield and the defense. This way he can then isolate up against those defenders to then look to take them on with step overs, reverse elasticos, heel to ball rolls, shot cancels, you name it. What he can then also do is look for a finesse shot on the edge of the box, a Travella, looking for those green times, or if he wants, drive the byline to look for the sweats off across, and or drive the byline to come back to the edge of the box to then find a power shot or whoever is there. For the width, he wants to go a little bit more narrow in the 4-3-2-1. He wants the left forward and right forward sat on the inside of their fullback. And what this then means is that when you get to the player instructions, you have one of the fullbacks on that overlap. They create the width, and your left forward will then kind of sit just slightly inwards and occasionally be there to support with a fullback as well. Players in box, he goes 5. This is essentially when you're getting into that 18-yard box. How many players does he want making those late runs into the box or being in the box in general? And that works there. Manu does go 3 corners and 3 free kicks, but he did say that this is personal preference. You know, you go on what you want. For me, for example, I run 1 because I like having 3 players in the box on the corners, but he runs 3. Now for the player instructions, so we'll start with the goalkeeper. He doesn't actually change anything with the goalkeeper and the centre backs. No one ever really does tend to with the centre backs. Some people do run comes to crosses and sweeper keeper, but Manu does not do that. His right back, he does have on stay back while attacking, and this is where the 4-3-2-1 really comes in to that element. He has the left back on balance and overlap. Now notice that this isn't on join the attack. I run mine on join the attack, but Manu has his on balance. This will just basically allow the fullback to transition up in a neutral kind of setup, I would say. When you run join the attack, it's like, right, they're constantly going up and down. While as Karatui here on balance will go up when necessary. Will take just that little bit longer to go forward, but it does mean that you don't get caught on the counter as often. Now, the central defensive midfielder, your more defensive-minded one, he has on stay back while attacking and cover centre, and he actually also has the right centre mid on stay back while attacking cover centre. He says you should have three centre midfielders, one that is very much more comfortable going forward, trying to find, like, you know, goals and have the ability to shoot from range and be good on the ball and so on. And then your other two, maybe one a little bit more defensive and the other one that can kind of do a bit of everything. Now, the left centre mid is on balance. This is the one that you want going forward, and then cover wing. And the reason why they're on cover wing is to basically move into the left mid position to then make it a 4-4-2 when you defend, which is another massive part to this 4-3-2-1. How does it move into that 4-4-2? Well, Lukaku, your right forward, is on comeback on defense. The comeback on defense is there to make a 4-4-2 when you're defending. And this is what has made this 4-3-2-1 so popular over the recent years, because of the ability to do this. He does have him on stay central and getting behind, though, just to basically link up with your central striker then, to just be there, again, playing on the inside of those fullbacks, to look to drive at the 18-yard box, look for your step overs, your skill moves, and so on. And that central striker is also on stay central and getting behind. The left forward, though, is not on stay central. What he wants here is the left forward sometimes to link up with the left back to basically close that gap and, you know, look for a 5-yard pass, rather than be on stay central where the pass then is like 10 yards every time. So just have a little bit of a mixed ability there for sometimes a longer range pass and sometimes a short range pass, but the getting behind again. He runs the getting behind instructions combined with the direct passing to basically be able to look for the through balls, to look for the balls in behind if they're there, or just to push that opponent's defense back to then come back into the middle. And that is how Manu runs the 4-3-2-1, but it's about how he uses it in game. So let's take a look at some examples. So to give you a good understanding of how this 4-3-2-1 is going to defend and then move into the attack, we're going to take a look at this example here of one of Manu's games in the FC Pro Open against Anders Verge Gang. Now, this is flipped. It's actually going to be the right back, which is going forward instead of the left back in this specific scenario, but this philosophy still kind of applies the same. So we're defending in that 4-4-2. So we can see as soon as this ball comes over and switches, what's going to happen now is Mbappe, who's our right forward, is going to move into this right mid position. He's going to have Patelis, which is the left centre mid, come out here basically to play left mid, and then Hullet and Bellingham in the middle, leaving Kerr and Haaland up front, making that 2 banks of 4, which makes it really difficult to break down. So as Anders gets into here, he lays that driven pass, Yashin straight away on Haaland, forcing him backwards, the active player switching, Hullet stepping in and then looking to break away. Now, something that we see so good from Manu here is the trigger of the run. Straight away, Haaland, arm out. That's him saying, I've just been triggered on a run. He's going to go. Hullet as well, and Mbappe. So he cancels him, Hullet, but then sends Mbappe. He now has 2 runners going forward, basically just giving him an outlet if he thinks he can find them. Now, he chose, you know, says, okay, I can't lay this ball into Mbappe. Zidane is covering it, so I'm going to go back and use the fullback. He lays this pass here with Sam Kerr with an L1 and X on PlayStation, LB and A on Xbox, and that tells Sam Kerr to go. Now, look at the feet and the hold up with Cafu. He waits, he comes back, and then just before Sam Kerr is about to go offside, he taps R1 on PlayStation, RB on Xbox, and that tells Sam Kerr to now just start to come short, and that just keeps her onside. You see how she stops that run and she starts to turn back towards Cafu. That is crucial, especially as well because Anders may switch into Theo Hernandez and start running backwards. So it's just about creating, you know, 3 or 4 yards on that player, which is exactly what happens. Now look at the options in the middle, and this is where kind of direct passing and triggering runners is unbelievable in this 4-3-2-1, because we want to be operating in between these lines. This is where we can be super dangerous should we be able to find them, and that's exactly what he does. He doesn't play the ball the first time. He baits in that movement with Hernandez, then goes into Mbappe, drives down the line, ball roll, scoop turn, little ball roll up, the fake shot back across to get that scoop turn in, takes the time, recycles it back, and then it's into Patelis. But now it's about that change of tempo, and this is something that you can execute in your game as well, that you've been methodical in the build-up. You know, you've took some time on the ball and you've picked your passes. Then when we get into this final third, let's be expressive, let's try and open up a little bit, and let's look to be quick. So we're going to look for some quick 1-2s. We're going to move the ball quickly. Alexis, Patelis and Sam flanker, moving up ever so nicely in those 1-2s, getting into that position. Unfortunately, you know, the movement from Van der Sar and just kind of Anders Versgang doing his thing on that goalkeeper movement, so crucial. But nonetheless, a great attack from Manu, and just showing how the 4-3-2-1 defends and then attacks going forward. And into this next example we go. We can see Manu picks that ball up. He switches it over to the right back who's on that balance coming forward. A great player lock with Mbappe to just move, again manipulating the AI. Then he sends the right back on the run. Hullet picks that open with an L1 triangle, LBY. All comes from out here, sending the right back. Watch again, we're looking for the player arms. We can see them running out. They're making that run. They're going. Now let's find them. We see the ball come out to Cafu, takes that time on it, manages to just about keep it in. The change of tempo coming in, moving the ball quickly, one touch, then pass. Then a big touch out with the right stick with Hullet, flicking it into that direction to drive into that space, saying, I'm not going to take a touch, then step over. I'm going to take that big touch with the right stick, taking it away and just driving. And this is why these centre mids can also be so crucial in the 4-3-2-1, compacting the box, making it really difficult for Anders to go, okay, where's he going to go? Left, right, which way have I got to defend? It's quick, it's decisive, using that intuition, and Manu showcasing how and why the 4-3-2-1 is one of the best formations. So massive thanks to Manu for the custom tactics. Obviously, with it being a pro player's custom tactics, we know that they are going to be safe and sound. I've given them a go myself. It does rely on you understanding the 4-3-2-1, which by now you should have done, and you using the player movement to your advantage as well. Give them a go and go and show some love to Manu as well with his video should you wish to. And let me know what you find in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.